Welcome. We're still in Module 3. This is actually the beginning of Topic B. We skipped 3. We're going straight to Lesson 4. And we're going to kick it off with a sprint titled Adding and Subtracting Teen Numbers and Ones. So teen numbers and ones. It is on, says, yep, write the missing number. Pay attention to the plus and minus signs. It is on page 131 in your oh so beautiful Starry Night book, page 131. You have 60 seconds that I'm going to put on the clock. You're going to do your best, because that's what we do. We do our best. And then we'll check our work to see how we did. So, I'm queuing up the clock right now. On your mark, get set, go. You heard it just as well as I did. That does mean time is up. So stop what you're doing and let's go check our work. Come on. All right, let's go ahead and check our sprint here. The directions again read, write the missing number. Pay attention to the plus and minus sign. Plus meaning addition, minus meaning subtraction. Those signs have meaning. They're just like any other symbol that we use. Just like the letters are symbols, these signs are symbols too. All right, let's get going. 7, 17, 7, 17, 5, 15, 2, 12, 7, 17, 7, 17. There's a little bit of a pattern going on here if you hadn't noticed. 3, 13, 14. 13 was 6. 19, 19, 17, 12, 19, 19, 12, 16, 6, 19, 5, 19, 19. Notice, yep, and down here in this section, the missing numbers changing position. And down here, our last two again, balancing the left and the right. They have to be the same. They need to be equal. They need to have the same value. So 13 plus 4 is 17 is equal to 19 minus 2. Both sides have a value of 17. Right? This is 12, 9. 18 minus 6 is equal to 9 plus 3. All right, let's count up how many we got right. I did better today, guys. And that's the goal, to do better than yourself. Do better than yourself. All right, now let's go ahead and continue with our lesson. Come on. Excellent work on that sprint you did. But here it is, our application problem in our Learn book on page number 207. So learn. We're going to learn together. Modules 2 and 3, because this is Module 3, so page 207. And the problem reads, Joe ran a string from his room to his sister's room to measure the distance between them. When he tried to use the same string to measure the distance from his room to his brother's room, the string didn't reach. Which room was closer to Joe's room, his sister's or his brother's? I'm going to get you started, because if we were in the hallway looking at their rooms, we would see a door, and this is Joe's room. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna get you started. Then go ahead and do what you do to tell me which room was closer to Joe's room, his sister's or his brother's. Let me get you a clean shot. Okay, so let's continue. Which room was closer to Joe's room, his sister's or his brother's? I'll tell you right now. His sister's, and I'm going to show you why and how. All right, so here is my measuring. Here's my string. I'm going to start my string here at Joe's room, and I'm going to run all the way to here, and I'm at my sister's room, and I have enough string. I still got string. Here we go. But I'm going to keep on running to my brother's room, but oh no, my string is on the floor. I ran out of string. Oh no. Which means that the distance from Joe's room to his sister's room was within the length of string. That's not even kind of resembling a door. So sister. So here's my string. Here's my little Joe with his string. And he's going to run to his sister's room. And he's good. He's good. Still got string. But as he keeps going to his brother's room, oh no, he ran out of string. And his brother's room door is all the way over here. So yeah, this is where we'll use a little bit more pictures. No, we're not adding, we're not subtracting. We're comparing distances and measuring. So which room is closer to Joe's room? His sister's room. Good job. All right. So as I've told you, and I told you, we haven't used this one yet, so it must be this measuring tool, our sticks. And I'm going to explain these sticks to you and these little lines on these sticks. In this part right here, you know, where I do something, and then we're going to do something, and then you're going to do something. So yeah, let's go ahead. So Joe's sister's room, his sister's room is closer. Right, try that. Measure from your room distance to somebody else's room or another room in your house. And then try to use that same string to measure another room that you already know is further away. You'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so we want to find the length of this crayon. How can we find the length of this crayon? Well, what we have here, these are called centimeter cubes. And what I gave to you is a stick. And what you'll notice on this stick, and there's a bunch of little teeny tiny lines. But let me show you something. This little guy right here is a centimeter cube. And this is a stick. Notice when I line them up, each little line with the little square on it is the same size as 1 centimeter cube. So instead of giving you 20 of these, I gave you 2 of these, which as we've learned, this is 10 centimeters. Say centimeters. Centimeters. That's our unit of measurement. I've been telling you the whole time, units matter. You got to tell me what you're talking about. Centimeters are much smaller than shoes. So how can we use these centimeter cubes to measure the length of this crayon? Well, what we can do is we can line them up with the crayon. So just one cube, lining it up at the end of the crayon. You have to line it up with the end of the crayon, and you just keep on going, boop, 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 until you've reached the end of the crayon. And then you will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This crayon is 10 centimeter cubes long. 10 centimeter cubes long. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So if we wanted to measure now this pencil, we would use centimeter cubes. That's our unit of measurement. Our length unit is centimeter cubes. But just by looking at the two, which one do you believe is longer? Which one will use more centimeter cubes to measure? The pencil. Good, because we can already see just by looking the appearance that the pencil is longer than the crayon. Excellent job. So now what we're going to do is measure a bow, we're going to measure a cookie, and we're going to measure a mug. But again, like last time? Yeah, last time, this is not going to work. This isn't going to work, is it? Not if I want you measuring in centimeters, is it? That doesn't work. But what we can and what we are going to do is you're going to turn to page 308 in your Succeed book. your Succeed book, which looks like good. Looks like this. It's your bedroom book. You're going to turn it at page 308, like I asked you to, and we're going to measure them in the book. Now, if y'all say I give y'all too much work to do, look, I didn't even do all of it. This question's 5 through 7. We could have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 8, and 9. I didn't say you'd do those, did I? No, I'm just being silly. So first we're going to measure the bow. The bow is blank centimeter cubes long. So we're going to take our centimeter stick, and we're going to line it up with the bow. It's a little arrow there underneath to tell you how to do it. And then we're going to count the number of centimeter cubes needed to measure the length of the bow. And we see 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you notice, it's not quite 4, but here's the thing of it. Have you ever noticed that if you go through drive-thru, there's a bar there, and if a vehicle's too tall, it won't go under? Yeah, you always want to, if it's like 3 and a bit, you go up to 4, because you don't want your head getting knocked off because you didn't give yourself enough room. See, that's what happens. So if you were, so let's say for me example, I'm 4'11", right? Well, I'm 4'11" and a half. I'm gonna want a door that's 5 feet over a door that's 4'11", or I'm gonna bump my head. So giving it a little bit extra, the next whole number is better. So let's count again, looking at this bow. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bow is 4 centimeter cubes long. The bow is 4 centimeter cubes long. Can y'all see that? Let me see if I can make it clearer. Oh, that's better. That's perfect, actually. The bow is 4 centimeter cubes long. Good. So now we're going to check the cookie. Just looking at the cookie, is the cookie longer or shorter than the bow? Longer. Let's see how much longer. We're going to line this stick up with the cookie, and we're going to count the number of cubes it takes to get from one side of the cookie to the other side of the cookie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The book cookie is 6 centimeter cubes long. I want you to look and pay attention to how I'm measuring, because we're going to review the importance of the ways in which we measure correctly and incorrectly. You can see it ahead if you're looking ahead on page 309 in your book, but I'm going to show it up here. Don't worry. All right, so the mug is about, the way this is presented, it already tells us it's not going to be an exact amount. So if you notice where the arrow is, it wants us to measure the mug this way. So from the bottom of the mug, we see 1, 2, just under 3. And like we said, we ain't trying to get bonked in the head. So the mug is about 3 centimeter cubes long. 3 centimeters. You don't want it to pass under, even if it's going to squeeze a little bit. So yes, the mug is 3 centimeter cubes long. Good. Now, as I said, and as you can see, we're going to look at question number 10. Here's question number 10. Prompts us to circle the pictures that show the correct ways to measure. And I'm going to tell you right now. I'm done. Am I done? I'm not done. I'm playing with you. Only one of these is the correct way to measure. And that right here is letter D. And we're going to go over why the other ones are not correct. Okay? Now, looking at option A, it says 3 centimeter cubes. Except we didn't start at the end of the spoon. So number 1, you must start at the end. Okay, so you have to start at the end of the thing. Number 4 breaks the rules because you have these here. What are these called? They're gaps. So the rules are no gaps. No gaps. And then this one here, this is another problem. No overlap. So you can't put one on top of the other. You have to have them touching, so one touches the other at the end with your measure with your centimeter cube. So here's one cube, here's the next cube, here's the next cube. They're touching by one end. So you have to start at the end. You can't have any gaps and no overlap. So no gaps, no overlap, start at the end. This picture here, it starts at the end of the spoon. There are no gaps, there are no spaces. The cubes are not on top of each other, so there's no overlap. And we have one extra cube beyond the end of it, but notice when we count it, it says there are 4. So we put an extra cube to see, but then when we count it to answer the question, we wrote the answer that matches what is pictured, that spoon. Okay, so yes, no gaps, no overlaps, and starting at the end. Those are all requirements to measure correctly. I can't just go run around telling people I'm 5'2" because I jumped up and started 2-3 inches up in the measuring stick. They have rules about that. I'm short. It's okay. I have no problem with this. All right, so now it's time for you to go ahead and do your problem set, which is front and back using your centimeter cubes. What is the name of our measuring unit? Centimeter cubes. Good job. Centimeter cubes to measure all the objects. Anyone that is confusing, it does tell you which direction to turn to measure. So page 209, front and back, 209, front and back. And then when you're done measuring for your problem set, you will measure what you're going to have to do. You're going to measure in your book. We've already established you can't measure correctly on the computer screen. You're going to measure in your book, and then you will see what I have done for you to turn in your answer. Okay? I will present it to you so you can turn in your answer. Don't worry about how you're going to do this on the computer. I know that that doesn't work. You're going to use your centimeter cubes, you're going to measure in your book, and then you're going to turn in evidence that you completed that. And once you've done that, you will click submit. You will click submit like we always do. And like I said, if this is confusing or you're not sure how to work it, please let me know. I know new stuff. Trust me, I was a little overwhelmed at first too. But I know we're going to be doing great. And if you have any questions, let me know. But until then, bye.